Australia's Prime Minister held a virtual summit meeting with Prime Minister Modi today, the second Quad leader to meet Mr. Modi in the last few days. Japan's Prime Minister was here last week. The Australian PM expressed concerns about the consequences of Russia's actions for the Indo-Pacific region, while Mr. Modi said the Quad alliance was important for regional and global stability.
As the crisis in Europe deepens over Russia's invasion of Ukraine, another Quad member holds meetings with Prime Minister Modi. Just days after the Japanese PM was here, now it was Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison. He and Mr. Modi met virtually today. In a repeat of what happened during the Japan visit, Mr. Morrison used strong words to describe Russia's actions, calling it an unlawful invasion of Ukraine. Prime Minister Modi did not make any reference to the war in his opening comments.
Quad leaders' call recently, which gave us the opportunity to discuss Russia's unlawful invasion of Ukraine, but it also gave us the opportunity to discuss the implications and consequences of that terrible event for our own region in the Indo-Pacific and the coercion and the issues that we face here.
हमारा यह सहयोग फ्री, ओपन और इंक्लूसिव इंडो पैसिफिक के प्रति हमारी प्रतिबद्धता को दर्शाता है। क्षेत्रीय और वैश्विक स्थिरता के लिए क्वाड की सफलता बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Today's summit meeting comes days after a top Chinese official aggressively compared the Quad to NATO's expansion in Europe, calling it dangerous. PM Modi brought up the issue of China's transgressions in Ladakh.
Prime Minister did refer to the line of actual control in Ladakh, the incidents of the previous year, and he emphasized that peace and tranquility in the border areas was an essential prerequisite for normalization of relations with China. Obviously, the Ukraine issue was discussed, as was the issue of China. On Ukraine, I think it was clear that the two sides had referred to the Quad summit, in which the leaders had a fairly clear perspective that the situation in Ukraine should not impact on the Indo-Pacific.
With the Ukraine war dragging on, there is plenty of diplomatic activity in New Delhi at the moment. After Australia and Japan, a senior US official is also here, and the Israeli Prime Minister will come in April. Bureau Report, NDTV.